What's going on, Boulder? It looks like the We Ain't Hard to Find showcase was a massive success as the Buffs hosted a bunch of NFL personnel, front office staff, head coaches, general managers, etc. from a ton of teams out to check out the Buffs, plus being on NFL Network does not hurt. But the Buffs also hosted a good group of recruits and prospects, as well as mainly some guys on the offensive line. We're going to dive into that. Plus, an NFL legend pulled up. Could Prime be trying to get another coach? It begs the question, but we'll dive into that in a bit. So make sure you stick around. We talk about that NFL legend that pulled up because he is a former Bronco. So let's dive into these recruits here on the Prime Time for College Football. First and foremost, the Buffs were on it. They brought in some big-time talent, especially on the offensive line. And there's 3 linemen I want to talk about that the Buffs are trying to target that feel like they may have some potential chance, with 2 of them being from Colorado, so in-state talent, one playing at IMG Academy, and then one big Florida boy that a lot of people are talking about. But first, talk about the big-time Florida boy in Johnnie Jones. He is a top 130 player in the country, sitting here at 6'6", roughly 308. I think he's actually bigger than that, but he's nice size. And when you see the pictures of him standing next to Coach Prime and standing next to other people, he's a mountain. And of course, everybody has him as a consensus composite 4-star, and down there, big. Now, he enjoyed his visit, of course. Got to see NFL coaches, got to see a bunch of cool stuff at the showcase as well as a practice. So, Johnnie had some good notes. Go check it out. The insiders have been writing about him like crazy, especially our 247. Adam, he has at Buff Stampede, had some good notes to talk about when it comes to Johnnie. But what jumped out to me, man, I watched a little bit of his film, and he's just a big mountain. And it makes me think about bringing in Jordan Seaton, and how that has worked out very well for the Buffs, with him being basically a freshman All-American, and he's the one player that, like a PFF, one of the highest graded freshmen on the line. Johnnie has an opportunity to do something similar. And so getting to see him, he made the visit, like I said, and it sounds like he thoroughly enjoyed his time there. Think the Buffs got a chance? Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. Next player I want to talk about, Deacon Schmitt. He is out of Windsor, Colorado, 6'5", 310 pounds of man, big boy, local. He is a consensus 4-star top 350 player in the country. It's like ESPN has him top 300 total, but he's definitely he rounds out average about the top 30 players, and he's considered the top player in the state of Colorado. And so he pulled up. He had just come off a visit from Oklahoma, and he came through, and, looks like he enjoyed himself, took some pictures, had himself a blast. And he's one of those that you always want to get your in-state guys, right? You want to make sure that those are the guys you prioritize. You always want to have an agenda where you focus on the local talent, make them feel appreciated, and then you're going to go after them. And I think that the Buffs do have a chance with him. I mean, he can move. He's got some good movement on him, and at his size, I mean, you can see that he's sitting here at, 6'5", 310, 6'5", 320, depending on who's rating him. 247 has him as a nice size. So I can definitely see, like I said, he feels like one that I know that the Buffs want to get their hands on. Like I said, you want to get local talent, and the coaching staff here at Colorado is focused on making sure that they're getting some successful guys. So we'll have to see what that looks like. I think the Buffs have a chance with him, though. I think they do have a chance of being able to pull him in because he's a local talent. But, I mean, he's got a lot of programs after him. He's got Nebraska's. He's got Alabama's, Oklahoma's. He's got the Tennessees of the world. A lot of SEC, USC, Ohio State's after him, Georgia. So all your big programs want him. So obviously he's a talent. The Buffs can find a way to slide him in at home. you're doing something big. So I expect the Buffs to really put the full court press on him, especially because he's local. Why not? Another talent that it didn't look like he pulled up, but his family pulled up, which is Breck Kolojay. He is out at IMG Academy, but his family's out there in Littleton, Colorado. And his family took a picture. It looks like his mom, Danielle Kolojay, was there in town. And I saw that. And I was like, interesting. So parents came through, did the visit, talked to Prime and everything. And Breck was actually at Georgia, it looked like. He was doing a visit there. And so, of course, the Buffs are always going after some of the top talent and players that they want that can play immediately. But he comes in 6'5", 295. He's down there at IMG Academy, so he's going up against a lot of big-time talent that, definitely pushing him. And the question has to be, can the Buffs pull him from Florida, like with Johnny Jones, like he's trying to pull Johnny Jones? Can you get both of them to come back from Florida and play there at Colorado? So there's a chance. I don't think that it's unlikely. I think that there's an opportunity there, and the Buffs are working their butts off. So definitely we're here for y'all on that. But I think the big story of the day was NFL legend that pulled up. You had Champ Bailey show up, and he got to talk to the team, as y'all can see here. Thought that was quite interesting. And while he's there talking to them, he's giving tips to the corners. He's giving them, he's talking to them here on the side. And it all led down because Prime and them offered Champ Bailey's son, Brayden Bailey, class of 2028. So you got a couple more years down the line. But he got himself an offer at the pro day. And so Champ's there with Brayden, on the visit. Brayden gets his offer. He plays, he's based in Atlanta, looks like. Plays corner, wide receiver, so similar to Pop, similar to Prime. Runs track as well, 4.0 student, 200 and 400. And says he runs a 4.5 40-yard dash. So it's pretty darn big for a young player. And so Champ's there. Like I said, he's chopping it up with the players. He's giving advice and everything. And the question you have to ask yourself on that is, could Prime convince Champ to come through and coach the boys as well? Makes you wonder, right? I could see it as something big. I mean, Prime, he's building a staff and a team of people with all this NFL experience, and that's something that a lot of kids are starting to appreciate. They like the fact that there's a lot of NFL experience there coaching. And so if Prime can work this over, get Champ to come through and get his coaching chops in, two of the best corners that ever played the game hanging out, can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. There's a lot of practice notes been floating around. It sounds like Juju and Caden Salter are out there battling it out. A lot of questions around a lot of other positions. We'll take a dive into that a little bit later, but I expect the Buffs to continue consistency this year. Maybe a slight drop, but I do think they'll win a lot of games here in the Big 12 and be able to make something happen. We'll look at the schedule again soon. Look at the coaching staff as they round that out. But, yeah, let's make sure you hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, join the family. We just about 31,000 subs. Thank you all for the love and support and the appreciation for us just, putting together just content and talking ball. That's what we try to do. We try to talk as much ball as possible, and this channel will be evolving as we get through the summer. With my work schedule, we're going to make some stuff happen for you all. So hit the like, subscribe, join the family, and we will chop it up with all of y'all soon.